Hi guys, so I'm not even sure why I'm making this video, but for some reason I fancy playing some Spectrum games. And you see in the title, Millennial plays Spectrum games. I was born in 1986, and so I had zero exposure to the Spectrum or to be honest, any 8-bit computer growing up. It's only as an adult I've kind of, learned more about the history of video games and history of, computing in general. And it's undeniable the role that the Spectrum played in that. And the thing about the Spectrum is the graphics are extremely distinctive. One of the things I like about it is actually the slightly higher resolution compared to some of the other systems. And that resolution comes at, a cost of a more limited colour palette. And so what I thought I might do is play a few games and just see what I think. Here I've got Cabal, and the reason for playing this is that this is this week's May Meister's high score kerfuffle game. And this game came out in 1989, so the Spectrum came out in April of 1982 in the UK, and so it had been out for 7 years by the time this game came out. The arcade game came out in 1988. So I'm actually playing on emulation here. I can change the joystick to a Kempston, and then I think I press 0 and we get started. So I'm using a joystick. We heard the kind of nice opening tune there. I thought that was a kind of pretty nice touch, and the opening screen looked pretty good too. You see, we get into the game now, and it's pretty good. I mean, this is quite impressive. The number of enemies on screen is very high. It's taken inspiration from oh, I shot me there. It's taken inspiration from the arcade game, but kind of added its own kind of own style, own flair to the game, and it's playing pretty nice. It's pretty smooth. I can get this cursor moving around the screen quite quickly. It's not really. I mean, this is on emulation, but it's not really lagging at all. You see, we don't get the kind of guy running off screen, but actually in this series of videos, I'm probably not gonna. It's not really meant to be a comparison to the arcade. It's more a look at what the Spectrum can do. Even though I'll probably end up featuring a few arcade ports, just because that was so prevalent, particularly in the 80s, where the golden age of the arcades. And people wanted to play home versions of those games. So yeah, I mean, this I think is a great example of what the Spectrum is capable of. As I say, this game came out in 1989, which I guess some people probably still had Spectrums, but that's also after the Amiga came out. So you've already got into 16-bit systems by then. And the Spectrum, I guess, would still be a very much kind of legacy piece of hardware. But this would run, I think, on an original Spectrum. So it just shows you what was possible. And as the game developers, their skill improved. I think this is made by Jim Bagley, I think, who's kind of well known to the kind of May Meister community. Even on pretty basic hardware, a perfectly playable game can be achieved. I'm using a joystick. You may see I'm not throwing grenades, because grenade is spacebar on the keyboard, which is just a little bit difficult for me to access when playing on emulation here. But it's not really hampering my experience significantly. And yeah, I guess if I had a Spectrum back in 1989, if I hadn't been, exposed to, next generation consoles and I was used to playing other Spectrum games, I'd probably be pretty impressed with this. But the thing is, in 2021, it kind of doesn't matter. I mean, it's all about the kind of experience, and as I say, with the Spectrum being so distinctive, I mean, you just see one screenshot of this game and you can tell it's a Spectrum game. Just the graphics, there's just no question of what system this has come from. We've died there. So yeah, this is the first Spectrum game first Spectrum game I've ever played. But I've not played many Spectrum games. But that I expect will increase. And if you guys want to see me play more Spectrum games, feel free to suggest things. If you like the video, please let me know. But yeah, I'll be back soon, probably more of these. I'll be back with other videos, SNES videos too. So yeah, you guys stay safe, and I'll catch you soon.